Previously on TV Sins.
Damn, this morning ass some chili. God damn, the water is cold.
Better you than me.
This job is eating me alive. I can't breathe anymore.
Since we find out he's actually giving this speech inside the store, what is this cut to him walking outside about?
Doing the best speech from Donnie Brasco. Or actually, 10 of me are doing the best speech from Donnie Brasco.
Math must not be Peralta's strong suit, because there are clearly more than 10 monitors showing his face. Also, best speech from Donnie Brasco? Let me introduce you to something I like to call, I'm in the dock here. Did the thief also steal this guy in the background and return him? Because he wasn't there in the previous shot.
You got lucky.
No, I got here 5 minutes before you and figured that in this gigantic electronics store there had to be at least one working camera.
And Jake is just bringing this up now, with the thieves still out there? Horrible unprofessionalism aside, the owner of the store is there with them and is witnessing all of this incompetence. You know what this title card could do for us? Tell us the day of the week. I'm over here thinking it's 8:31 on the same morning that Santiago and Peralta investigated a robbery. You know, from 30 seconds ago. But it's not that day. It's a new day. And we only know this to be true because everyone is wearing new clothing. I'm happy to do detective work to keep the day straight, and we're not even 2 minutes in.
I hate this.
Oh yeah.
I hate this.
You're just gonna want to add one. I'm winning.
I'm not saying that cops don't have these kinds of case-solving competitions, no matter how unprofessional and frankly gross that might be, but it's no less a sin.
I think it was flan.
Charles thinks it was flan. I think it was butterscotch pudding.
That is clearly part of a discarded gummy bear, and I hate you, show, for making me have to think about this for any time at all.
How about we focus on the murder and not the old person gunk?
Terry Crews acting in this episode makes Tiny Lister look like Orson Welles.
Tell us about the new captain.
Captain Holt will be here soon. He'll want to introduce himself.
Since we learn that Terry knows Captain Holt, why in the wouldn't he give his team at least some info so they can make a good impression? It's as if Terry is a fan of sitcom hijinks and wants to make sure they occur.
I just wish Captain McGinley never left. He was the best.
I know it's the pilot and hasn't found its form at this point, but given all the whooshy flashbacks, this episode is really scrubsy, isn't it? Like, don't you get the sense these two characters could easily be played by Zach Braff and Sarah Chall? If you look closely enough at Captain Holt's uniform, you can see a black WTC commendation on his badge. This is a nice touch from the casting department because it's a bar awarded to any responders on September 11, 2001. However, it's also supposed to be worn at the highest level in the badge area, with the exception of the American flag, so it should be up one more spot. Mannequin 2, Terry Crews. You can laugh at this physical comedy bit involving a baked good. I'm over here looking at this horrifying Tetris-esque crime against paperwork. Maybe these are useless documents about plumbing repair on the 3rd floor from 1978, but goddamn, someone scoop these files out of this locker and stick them in one of the hundreds of boxes this precinct has all over the place.
Where do we start?
What is happening?
We start with him.
Me, man, I know this pilot needs to get to the point. But the only reason Holt is focusing on Peralta is that he was making an innocuous joke about the incoming captain. Why not start with Rosa and her potentially dangerous anger issues? Or homeboy that can't even handle a muffin?
Speaking of ties, where's yours, Meatmore?
In this cast of very, very funny people, the usually very, very serious Andre Braugher is the standout the majority of the time, which deserves a sin-off. Having said that, how in the ever-loving did Holt know that Hot Rod wasn't wearing a tie, since he just walked up behind him? Sure, he could have intuited, but that would place him in the Batman pantheon of detectives, and I'm not sure we're there yet.
Citizen Kane is terrible. Pick a good movie.
Man, Rosa, have a little better movie taste. Even CinemaSins wouldn't sin Citizen Kane.
What do Santiago and Peralta have writing on this bed of theirs?
I will tell you on 6 conditions.
God, can you imagine having 6 things in your mind immediately ready to demand at the drop of a hat? I'm gonna try this. Unsupervised dancing in a room full of cats, a daily cheese plate, exact change for the vending machine, uninterrupted daily naps, that's all I have in me?
If he gets more rest, she has to go on a date with him. He guarantees it will end in sex.
2013 office bets that could and should get you fired in 2020.
Hello.
Hello.
What's your name?
Milipnos.
Show or movie with an SNL cast member has other SNL cast members make cameos cliche. Also, Fred Armisen plays a character of unknown foreign origin with a cartoonish accent in a TV show cliche.
Wall Street Journal on the doormat, top floor apartment. $20 says this guy's like a hot eligible bachelor.
I'm guessing it's more likely he's a time traveler because New York World is a newspaper that has been defunct since 1931.
And while you're out, you can buy yourself a tie.
Oh, actually, sir, I'm wearing a tie right now. Check it out.
Why is Captain Holt not immediately firing Peralta? I'm either too drunk to find this funny or too horny to laugh. How can they be at the grocery store and going door to door at the apartment complex at the same time? Someone is lying, and I'm gonna find out who. My first line of questioning will be aimed at the continuity department. Do you hate your job? I'm questioning the validity of these flavor labels. I demand to see the manager and taste test to be sure that they are what they say they are. Also, for someone who prizes food enough to motherfucking kill a dude for a gourmet ham, this asshole is being extremely careless with his product. Also, no one in this fucking deli is getting involved. Are they all in on the ham heist with Ratko?
So no, I did not brief you, and yes, he did get away.
He got away because you decided to stop chasing him, and I can't figure out why. Ratko ran around the corner of the counter and out the door, so what was stopping the detectives from doing the same?
You're lucky, man. I wish I could get assigned here full time.
Keep playing hand puppets at your desk via webcam on a secured police network, and you will.
In 1981, he caught the Disco Strangler.
And at 1608, we're seeing our fifth flashback, and honestly, I'm too exhausted by character whiplash to be impressed with the capture of a disco yo-yo killer. I mean, if that's the sort of thing I'm supposed to be impressed with. Peralta's break in the case comes after searching files for the words Serbian and rat. In real life, this would have taken such a long time that the non-bench detectives would have already found the perp after asking the employer for his home address.
Santiago, Boyle, Diaz, get in here. Bring everyone. And a camera.
That's not necessary.
Why wouldn't he just sit back down? Another flashback! And yes, I already sinned having too many of them, but this one is a flashback to things that happened in this episode only 14 minutes ago. Don't treat me like I'm an idiot, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I know thinking happens and stuff. Yeah.
Why don't you just go to the movies with me?
Why is the entire staff of detectives, including the goddamn commanding captain, out on this stakeout? Sure, it's a big case, but the kind of organization doesn't leave at least one asshole behind.
Humility over. I'm amazing.
But you're not very good at dressing yourself. That's an armhole in the vest that you're putting your head through.
Because if you take a look to your left, you'll see Detectives Boyle and Diaz. Right there is Detective Santiago. And behind you is Captain Holt.
Fun, cool, right, but how does he know where any of his team would be in this storage maze? There's so little communication amongst them about planning, and there's been no sign of those techie inner-ear communicators. How much better would this scene be if he had said Santiago was on the left, but it was actually Captain Holt? That seems so much more on character for Peralta at this point.
Never took off the Speedo. Big mistake. It is inside me.
Jake made a big deal earlier about how he changed his clothes to be more comfortable at this stakeout, but neglected to remove the uncomfortable Speedo. It's almost like the show is trading reality for cheap laughs, and I expect more from the team behind the modern classic 22 Jump Street.
My name is Muerte.
Good news for all you murder fans. During her interview, I deduced using expert detective work that she had something super gross on her chin.
Oh, that's not right.
The robot voice you were doing when you implied I'm a rule-following robot. I want to hear it again.
There are no strings on me.
Captain, hey! Welcome to the murder. What are you doing here?
I'd like to know what my detectives are up to.
You people are D Squad. D for dirtbags. When I say, hey, dirtbags, that means you.
What's your name?
I am your